Welcome to This Explainer. If you've ever watched a student completely zone out during a standardized test, well, you already know our traditional methods are, frankly, failing them. Today, we're looking at a real pedagogical breakthrough. We're going to see how AI-driven adaptive assessments are fundamentally transforming education. From an educator's perspective, we are finally ditching that outdated one-size-fits-all model of testing and stepping into an era of true personalized learning. To truly appreciate this shift, we kind of have to change our whole pedagogical mindset. Think of it like this. Evaluation without feedback is like a doctor who diagnoses you but then gives you absolutely no prescription, right? For decades, educators have used testing merely as a scale, just a tool to weigh a student and slap a score on them. But the true educational value of an assessment is only realized when it acts as a compass, actively guiding the student's learning journey and showing them exactly how to improve. So today's roadmap covers 4 key areas: true personalization, dynamic item generation, growth-driven feedback, and outcome measurement. Let's get right into it. Section 1. True personalization. Let's dive into why traditional testing is fundamentally flawed for personalized education. Just think about a standard fixed assessment like your typical standardized exam. Every single student gets the exact same questions. And research shows that in a fixed test, up to 50% of the questions are effectively useless for any given student. Why? Because they're either way too easy or way too hard. It completely bores the advanced learners and just overwhelms those who are struggling. Adaptive assessment, on the other hand, is dynamic. It evaluates the learner's real-time responses. If a student answers correctly, boom, the system presents a more challenging question. If they struggle, it scales back the difficulty. This ensures a much more accurate and individualized measure of their true competency, keeping them right in their optimal zone of learning. Behind the scenes, this personalization is powered by computerized adaptive testing, or CAT, which relies on a statistical model called item response theory. Now, the AI doesn't just randomly pick questions out of a hat. It evaluates 3 very specific parameters for every single item: difficulty, discrimination, which basically means how well the question separates high performers from low performers, and the probability of guessing. And honestly, that guessing parameter is a massive pedagogical game changer. It stops students from passing an assessment by pure luck. It ensures that what we're actually measuring is genuine mastery, not just a series of fortunate multiple choice clicks. By constantly crunching these numbers, the AI selects the absolute most optimal next question for that specific learner's journey. Moving on to Section 2, dynamic item generation. So, you might be wondering, how does an AI actually create these questions on the fly, especially for highly nuanced and complex subjects like K-culture? Well, the secret lies in highly structured prompt engineering. Educators don't just casually tell the AI to make a quiz. They use incredibly precise templates. By setting the AI's persona as an education expert and specifying the learner's level, format, and topic, educators can automatically generate dynamic items. The AI even applies leveling algorithms to adjust the vocabulary, sentence length, and conceptual abstractness. This makes sure the difficulty is perfectly dialed in, all while maintaining crucial cultural accuracy. This means we can finally move away from rote memorization. Because let's face it, knowing exactly what traditional food is eaten on Seolal, the Korean Lunar New Year, isn't going to save you from the utter awkwardness of bowing incorrectly to your friend's grandmother. Instead, we can utilize AI to craft scenario-based performance assessments. We can actually ask the learner to navigate the proper etiquette of visiting a Korean friend's house during the holiday. This measures genuine cultural understanding and real-world application, which, at the end of the day, is the ultimate goal of education. Which brings us to Section 3, growth-driven feedback. Generating questions is really only half the equation here. To put the importance of feedback into perspective, just look at this number. Renowned educational researcher John Hattie analyzed various factors that impact learning, and he found that feedback has a massive effect size of 0.73. In the world of educational research, that number is staggering. It proves that proper feedback is literally one of the single most effective pedagogical interventions a teacher or a system can possibly provide. So, how is this feedback actually delivered? Traditional testing often gives summative, fixed mindset judgments, like simply saying, "You're very good at Korean," or worse, just handing back a letter grade. But adaptive AI systems allow us to provide immediate, highly specific, formative feedback. By pointing out exactly what the student did right, like saying, "Hey, your Korean has improved a lot by practicing this specific polite verb form," the system fosters a growth mindset. It actively encourages the learner to keep pushing forward. To achieve this level of customized encouragement, real-time feedback systems use a robust three-tier architecture. First up is data collection. The system isn't just looking at right or wrong answers. It tracks nuanced behaviors, like exactly how long a student hesitates before answering. Second is analysis, where the AI recognizes specific error patterns, like was that mistake a grammar issue or a cultural misunderstanding. Finally, the delivery tier provides immediate, tailored guidance. Think of a gamified reward that specifically celebrates a student overcoming a hurdle they previously struggled with. Connecting that achievement directly to a student's emotional response makes all that technical data collection feel deeply human and pedagogically invaluable. And finally, Section 4, Outcome Measurement. This brings us to defining success. To ensure our system is truly effective, educators rely on the comprehensive four-step Kirkpatrick model. We don't just stop at step 1, which is measuring the learner's initial reaction or engagement. No, we track step 2, the actual knowledge acquired. Step 3, whether they're changing their real-world behavior based on that knowledge. And finally, step 4, the tangible, overarching results of the educational program. When you apply this to highly nuanced fields like K-culture, standard metrics just aren't enough. We have to look at culturally specific indicators. Are we increasing the learner's cultural confidence in real-world settings? Are we actually building cultural empathy and adaptation? For decades, educators struggled to measure abstract concepts like empathy at scale. But now, by combining system interaction logs and completion rates with rich qualitative data, like portfolio evaluations and behavioral interviews, we can finally ensure a truly holistic view of the learner's growth. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a final provocative thought. We've seen how AI has the unprecedented power to unlock true personalization, transforming the very nature of how we evaluate learning. So the big question for educators, developers, and institutions is this. As this technology becomes widely available, how will you transform your own systems to become a compass that guides, rather than just a scale that grades? Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive.